G'day. Yeah, this is a pickups video. I'm losing the will to live. This is my third crack. Um, I'll keep getting just multiple interruptions that you don't need to talk about. Yeah, this is a pickups video, but I would normally use the camera on my computer, but I've got a little bit of out and about footage to edit into it, and my thinking is that if it's all in the same resolution, because the camera on the computer is 720p and the camera on the GoPro is 1080. My thinking, whether rightly or wrongly, is that it'll be easier for me to edit together if it's all the same. Whether I don't want to lessen the quality of the GoPro footage, put it that way. But so yeah, this is got a bit of out and about footage, and did that. Took that. I'm getting better at it actually. Getting better at it. Took that yesterday. Yeah. Getting more comfortable. I think it shows actually. I think most of the footage I use is in later in the day. You can see I'm basically just not being so wary about walking into shops with my camera and just not worrying about being caught so much. And I think slightly more relaxed, which is good, and it does show actually. But most of the footage where I'm a bit sort of tentative, I've rejected anyway. I took about I'm going to include about a third of what I shot, put it that way. But so yeah, this is a pickups video using my GoPro. I have no idea how this is going to look because there's no viewfinder. So again, I'm having to embrace the chaos. This camera, that tends to, you have to do that. You have to just point and click and then see how it looks afterwards. But sometimes it's a nice surprise. But I have had a couple of attempts at shooting like this in the past, and it looked okay, but it did look like miles away from the camera, even though I'm literally only about a foot and a bit. Look, I can touch the camera. That's my arm. My arm is massive, doesn't it? But before I go on to the pickups, I want to say apologies to anyone if I've missed a comment or anything, because I've not been getting email notifications of comments, especially my last video. None at all. Which is, just another one in a long list of things that YouTube does to make you look like a rude bastard. Just tends not to give you email confirmations of certain things, and you make it look like a rude bastard. But so if I have not got to your comment, and I apologise, I'm not a rude bastard, only sometimes. Apart from that, there was a couple of things I wanted to mention, but I'm not gonna, because they're not that interesting. And it's just I'm just sort of procrastinating really. So yeah, pickups. Not actually a lot, but a little pile of quite interesting things with a few things to mention in conjunction with them. So I'll just get on to them. First thing is this beauty. It's a PSP component cable. You get what you pay for, really. Actually, no, you don't. I don't think they really vary that much. The vast majority, if you look on Amazon, eBay, wherever, vast majority will come from China. And they're dirt cheap, and I don't think they vary that much. It does the job. It's a component cable, so you hook up your PSP to a telly with a component connection, and it does the job. Displays things in a letterbox, so you don't get the full screen, which I did know about, which I was okay with. Resolution's okay. It's not like really crystal clear, but again, I knew that. I've only played Final Fantasy 4 on it, so it looks like a sort of a SNES game on an LCD telly. I'll use the telly behind me. So yeah, which is fine. It's good. Major downside is I looked at all the options available. vast majority were about 5 feet 4 inches long. Some were 6 foot and some were like 2 meters, but they were, you know, significantly more expensive. This cost me about just over £3, I think, in total, and I'm cheap, so you know, maybe I should have paid a bit more. But I paid the £3 something. Got this. I thought I was getting a 6 footer. It ain't 6 foot. I got it through the post. Measured like, oh, hang on, that's not 6 foot. I know 6 foot. What is? I know 6 foot. What is? I know what is 6 foot. And this is closer to 5 feet 4. It's just some sort of, that 6 foot is just obviously an approximation. You're more likely to get 5 foot 4, and it's not that bad. It just means you have to sit a lot closer to the television than you really like. It's not, then he's really comfortable. You know, build quality is a bit weird. Like, it's just sort of like, build quality is a bit iffy, but yeah. So bearing in mind, this has got to go around behind the telly, so you're losing a certain amount of length there, and basically you've got about this distance between you and the screen. So you're sitting on the floor like you would do when you were a little kid playing video games. So you can't, you know, you have to sit really close, in other words. So, so if anybody else is interested in one of these, I'd say shop around. Shop around, because the vast majority will be about 5 feet 4, regardless of what they say. The information is not always readily available on the adverts. Amazon, eBay, whatever. You know, they're always a bit tentative about telling you. You know, a lot don't. So you just have to take pot luck. There seems to be quite a few available. You know, this just came in a plastic bag, but the other ones in blister packs, which might be more official, might be more trustworthy. I don't know, but this is, yeah, like I said, it's just came in a plastic bag. But I'm happy enough. I'm reaching the tail end of my obsession with component cables for all of my consoles, because some I would really like, I can't afford, like the Xbox one and the GameCube one. So I'm just gonna. I think this is probably the last one, but yeah, there you go. Right, put that there. You see the back of my CDs and the back of my computer. That's the wide angle lens. And also, I've noticed you have to be really careful about, you know, about where you put stuff before you put them on the screen, because of the wide angle lens, it sees a lot of stuff. And you know, this is all like, I want to sort of have some sort of element of surprise. I don't want to show you all it before. You know, anyway. I've been buying stuff from that website. I'm going to mention it because it's not been all positive. That's Entertainment. That website, also known as Overstocks and Eastocks. It's all the same stuff. This first one is a keeper, regardless. It's a game that was really high up on my PS2 list. Relatively difficult to get hold of. It's a bit of a weird hybrid. Not strictly the best game of like going, but it's difficult to get hold of. More common on the continent, which is often the case with these sorts of games and these sorts of games with these sorts of themes. But well, I'll show you. It's Shaman King, Power of Spirit. I think Shaman King is a Shonen Jump anime or manga, isn't it? I don't really know, but which are seem to be more popular in places like Spain and France and Germany and in Italy. And hence, you know, you get more releases of this game in those countries. But it's a difficult one to get hold of. It is basically a one-on-one fighter, but with strategy RPG elements. You move around a board as you would do with a strategy RPG, and when you encounter opponents, enemies, you fight them in a one-on-one fight, which sounds good. I don't think it's supposed to be as good as that sounds, because according to reviews, I've not played it yet. According to reviews, neither element really matches up to the best of their respective genres. You know, it's a one-on-one fighter, but it's not a particularly brilliant one-on-one fighter. Excuse me, one-on-one fighter. And it's a strategy RPG, but not a particularly brilliant one. So, but even so, it's a curiosity just for marrying those two sorts of things. And if I'm honest, I don't know why it's not been done more, because it feels sort of slightly logical. But yeah. So yeah, that was £1.99. Actually, that was the main thing I've got to mention. £1.99. I saw it, pounced on it, and thought, brilliant, because it was really high on my list. Obviously, it's not complete, which is bloody annoying, but it's a keeper. I'm half tempted to even buy a cheap copy. They're not that cheap, but cheaper copy from the States, or even keep an eye out for an American manual and just see if I can get it shipped over to the UK. But because it is bugging me, but not so much that I'm going to trade it in, because this is a ball ache to get hold of. So it's, you know, another That's Entertainment purchase. This is even worse. Final Fantasy Dissidia. It's a sequel to Dissidia 012 Duodecim, whatever that means. I don't know. This Dissidia games, RPG elements, but they look sort of like Power Stone. It's like Power Stone as an RPG, but which sounds brilliant. I've never played them, but it's supposed to be relatively just a lot of stuff, just, you know, really in depth, not strictly complicated, but controls take a bit of getting used to. But it's sort of like Arena Fighter, but with RPG elements, and not Arena Fighter, but anyway. So this is relatively expensive. Saw it on That's Entertainment for £1.99. It turned up brilliant. Feels really weighty. Opened it up, manual. Wow, and look a little bit closer, and it's actually the Disgaea 2 Dark Hero Days UMD. So obviously I contacted That's Entertainment and told them, and they said, "Oh, sorry, we'll give you your money back, and you can do whatever you like with that." So whether or not I'm ever going to see a UMD only of this game, don't know, or even a box only, box and manual only of Disgaea 2, don't know. Either way, it's a bit of a, you know, it's a bit of a sort of it's existing in the purgatory of my collection, a bit of an anomaly, along with that copy of, what was it? It's this one, right? Copy of Badly Drawn Boy. So I hate mismatches. I like things to be where they need to be. The one, oh actually, no, I'll leave that till later. The one and only properly thing actually no, it's not. To be honest, that's not true. An out and about purchase from Games, surprisingly. You might have already seen it because of the wide angled lens. A bit further down. Yeah, a game I've been on the lookout for, relatively difficult to get hold of. Saw it in game, it's supposed to be brand new. I have my suspicions whether it is or not. I had a bit of credit left over from a birthday present, you know, like a gift card, about £2, and I had some loyalty card credit, £2.50, so took off £4.50, and it's basically Bioshock Infinite Complete Edition. This was £14. For some reason I've taken off, that was it, yeah. I've swapped out the case wasn't brilliant, but it was in the brand new bit. I don't think it's brand new. The discs, there's 2 discs, and it's got all the add-on content on the other discs, so that's why I wanted it, because I generally don't buy things that require downloading. But the game disc isn't spotless, which makes me think it's not totally brand new, even though it was in the brand new section, and it was the only one in the shop, and it was something I really wanted, so I didn't grumble too much. And the girl behind the counter was nice, and she was really friendly, and you know, I didn't want to kick up a fuss, but yeah, this is a bitch to get hold of, by the way. Look on eBay, you'd think there'd be loads of them, but they're not. Or maybe they probably are now, I've said that, but at the time there was like one, and there's a load available in America. PS3 version, I'm not sure it even got a UK release. You can get it as an American version, you can get. UK, I'm not sure. Yeah, and it's a bitch to get hold of. And so I knew game sold, I'd seen it before, and it was something that was really high on my list, and because it was it's got all the bits, and I don't do downloadable content. I had to sort of jump on it, and you know, I can't really complain that much, even though did have to swap out the case because it was a little bit knackered, and you know, I have my suspicions about it being brand new. I mean, it wasn't in the plastic wrapper, and the disc was separate, so you know. Last one, Tales of Eternia from Cash Converters. This is basically to trade in to go towards my PS3 funds. So I need 90. I thought I'd need 80 quid. Actually, I need 90 quid. So it's going to take me £10 longer. Yeah, it was £2. It's a bit of a no-brainer. Unfortunately, you know, again, no manual, of course, but it's just these things are just automatic. I'm like, oh, I've got to have that, even though I've already got it. And actually, I've played this. I'd not played it until I bought this and I tested it. It's really good. Really enjoyed it. I do think I need the instructions though, which is lucky. I've got my other copy. But so this will be traded in to go towards my PS3. Right. Everything else is out and about footage. I'll show you after, because I had my camera when I bought this, by the way, but because it came in Cash Converters, I bottled it. I did try to show it on the bus on the way back, but it was just me and the bus driver on the bus, and I was upstairs. It was literally me on the whole bus, and I was like still really tentative. But, yeah. Yeah. Going to cut to the out and about footage. So yeah. See you in a bit. Wrong camera.
I'll make these here, alright? That's cut from 99, but they cut them from 99. They're scribble, and that's 199. I don't know. Perhaps they've done. Right, thank you. It's like that.
I can't see why.
No. You don't do that, don't you? Charlotte Rampton, this one. She's very pretty when she was young. Put the penny in there, alright? Yeah, I did check to see if they were okay, that one.
Okay, I can't do this without.
Well, I paid them, right? That's fine. Thank you very much, I paid.
Yeah, she said that.
Excuse me, sorry. Thanks.
I don't know.
Hello, I'm done for the day, but I just thought I'll show you these. So, Star Wars toys in my local charity shop. 2003, 12 quid. Slave 1. Cool. Tempting, but if they're originals, yes, but no. Hello, hello. I'm straight back, literally, split second, but you should have seen what I shot yesterday. Yeah, that bloke, those Star Wars toys, there's a little bit of story about that. I was inside the shop looking at the DVDs, who were just next to the Star Wars toys, and I saw the Star Wars toys, and I went, bloody hell. They look, especially the Darth Vader fighter. I thought, hang on, that looks like it could be original, but it wasn't. Not original. But literally, at exactly the same time, this bloke walked past, about my age, about my generation, stopped, just did a double take, and I looked down, and we were both looking at them exactly the same time. And he stopped, he paused, got his phone out, and started. And he was there for about 5 minutes. And at one point we were sort of like not eyeballing each other, but we sort of like made eye contact as if saying, "Have you seen what I've seen?" You know, and it got a little bit tense, even though we either side of a window. And I tried to look like I wasn't, you know, I hadn't noticed him, but you know, I was thinking, is he going to try and come and snaffle them up? In the end, he left after about waiting literally right outside the window, like fiddling with his phone for about 5-10 minutes. But either way, I think he'd probably decided in the same way that I did that they're from 2003, and anyway, it was a funny little sort of 5 minutes of me and this bloke, having a bit of a standoff. But anyway, so yeah, out and about footage. You might have seen first ever half decent purchase caught on camera. Donkey Kong Country 2 on the Game Boy Advance. It's not in brilliant nick. It's a bit squashy, but I ain't complaining. I've taken the label off there and looked inside. It's all there, so I'm chuffed. That you might not be able to see a bit of sellotape on the bottom. I've already tried to take that off, and very nearly started fucking up the case. So I stopped that, and that sellotape's going to stay there. I'm not going to bother with trying to take that off, because I've already probably won't be able to see. I've already ripped it slightly, but so yeah, it just feels nice to actually, in my second attempt at taking my camera out, to actually find something half decent. Bit of a surprise actually, because it was sort of slightly obscured quite up high, and there was a decent selection of other things, but this weird thing called Whack-A-Mole, a GBA game called Whack-A-Mole, which looked hooky, if I'm honest. The case, the box looked dodgy, but I don't know. And Metroid Pinball were the two standouts. I think there's a few other things up there, maybe a PS1 game, a DS game, but or another DS game. But this was definitely the no-brainer. And not having a SNES, this is the way to go for people like me who don't have SNESs, to play these sorts of games, the GBA, because I've never been able to play a Donkey Kong Country game, and it's just a bit of a no-brainer for me. And I'm really, really chuffed with that. So it's just, and again, it was nice to catch it on camera. But these last four, the last one's from actually the charity shop where the Star Wars toys were, but this is my local, and I don't want to go in there filming because I think they sort of probably recognise me by now, and I don't want to do anything to piss them off. And the other sort of three were all from cash converters, and it's too crowded. Big cash converters, too crowded, and and there's like shop workers always on the floor, and CCTV, and they're more likely to catch me. And I lost my bottle. Maybe one day I'll graduate beyond just charity shops. But yeah, this is from the charity shop, like I said, with the Star Wars toys. Condemned, a game I've always wanted to play. I've watched people play this on gameplay footage of this, and it's terrifying. Properly poo my pants watching this sort of thing, and it just looks like genuinely. Other games they're sort of creepy, but this one looks sort of like a genuine horror game, sort of oppressive, and things moving about in the dark, which you don't always. Horror games don't always follow sort of the traditions of horror films. You would have thought there'd be a certain crossover, but they don't always. And I think in a sense this does. But it's like I'm talking bollocks, by the way. But anyway, it is something I've always wanted to get, and it's not that it's that much more expensive. It's only £2 in computer exchange, but yeah, they had a nice selection of things like Xbox and 360 games in in that charity shop. But that was the only one I wanted. What else did they have? They had Devil May Cry 3. They had Gears of War, the Big Tin edition, and a few other sort of original Xbox games. Last three cash converters. The one that I bottled, taking my camera into. 3 purchases. First one, Clock Tower 3. It wasn't actually on my list. I think mainly because it's not supposed to be that good, but it is collectible and it's a Clock Tower game, and I've always wanted to give it a crack, and it's actually in really nice nick. And if it's rubbish, I can just sell it on. But I don't often buy things just for the collection. This is probably as close as you'll get with my collection. But again, it will be played. But it's a bit of a no-brainer because it's not a game. It's not a game that I've got. Last two. This one was really high off on my 360 list. I saw it in Cash Converters, and a bit of a no-brainer for me because it's one of the games I've been looking out for, and I was aware that this was a good price. It's a Catherine, so yeah, Catherine for $4.99. I was like I said, aware it was a good price because I'd been on the lookout for this for a long time, and it's £18 in computer exchange, which I wasn't really willing to pay. It had been cheaper than that, but obviously I'd missed that. And it's got a nice, it's a puzzle game. It's a weird adult puzzle game, isn't it? And it's supposed to have a good reputation. I like the fact you've got an alternative sleeve on the inside, if you ever see it. Yeah. Because you have the two personas of this girlfriend. You have the one with the bookish one, and the sort of like the girly one, the sexy one. Sexy. So, yeah, this is right up on my 360 list. Finally, bit of a no-brainer. I wish I'd got this on camera because there was a good selection of stuff. I only went with this one. Could be hook if it's not. It's basically from Cash Converters for $1.99. I did actually shoot a bit of oh look what I've got on the bus, but then I watched it back and it was shit. But yeah, Metroid Zero Mission on the GBA. Bit of a no-brainer because I've got Metroid Fusion boxed. Actually, that came from that charity shop up the road. That Metroid Fusion, but didn't have Zero Mission. I'm quite happy to have cart only with GBA games. So that was definitely a no-brainer. And I asked to have a look, and it does look legit. Print, it could be a bit iffy, but I think it's fine. And it did have Nintendo just on the little, pardon me, the little thing. But yeah, they had a good selection. So I've written a little list of what they had. They had Metroid Fusion as well. Was a bit worn. Wasn't so sure about the label. Might have been a bit sketchy, iffy, dodgy copy. Kingdom Hearts, which I left, was legit. Advance Wars looked legit. So did Astro Boy. I had a Mario Golf or Tennis, which was definitely fake, and F-Zero. And I passed them. A lot of those I'd already got. Didn't have Kingdom Hearts, but didn't want it. And obviously I wasn't going to touch the Mario Golf or Tennis with a barge pole. So yeah, there you go. That's it. I don't know how how long this video is going to be in total now, because I know the out and about footage is about 10 minutes. So it's probably going to amount to probably 35-40 minutes, which I was wanting to avoid. But anyway, bollocks. Yeah, I'm going to watch this back and see how it looks. I don't know why I did that anyway, because my computer's going to sleep. But yeah, I think football's on now. I'm going to go and watch it. So thanks for watching, and apologies to anyone who I've not thanked for any comments or subs or anything. I did say that, mention that earlier, didn't I? Yeah. But anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you later.